Hey everybody, Superfan Giovanni here. Welcome to Classic Loveline, episode 357, featuring guests Susie Landolfi and Adam Glickman. From February 10th, 1997, a Monday night show that seems to be part of the Condom Week of 1997. Again, an official studio tape, thanks to Anderson. And these lost gems like this prove why nobody can make a full archive just yet. Lots of fans out there trying to reprocess their own files, take credit for things they didn't do. All collections, official, unofficial, are incomplete. And as per usual, was recorded in 1997. Some of the medical information may be out of date. Please consult your own physician or contact Dr. Drew and Mike Catherwood on Current Day Loveline, 1-800-LOVE-191. Listener discretion is advised. You can follow us on Twitter at Podcast1, on Facebook, Podcast1 there as well, and Podcast1.com, the home of all your favorite podcasts. Mahalo, and get on.
The following program is a Podcast1.com production.
Oh, I didn't know you were the co-founder.
A male-female kind of thing going, okay, two people, male, female, both genders deciding that it was time to open the first condom store in the United States.
How many of them do you have now?
We have two that are corporately owned, and then we have two more that are sort of owned by other people, and we helped them out.
And those are in Dade County in Utah?
Exactly. And one's in Folsom Prison. No. And then we have a great mail order business that Adam can tell you all about as well, because he really runs the business more than I do.
What else do you have in these condominium stores besides condoms?
We have great lubricant, Astroglide.
Yeah. Now, you're the person to ask on this. It's Valentine's week, and for some reason we're talking about sex because it is a bit of a theme here of the show. So we're kind of skewing the show, or the shows, I should say, this week that way. And tonight we'll be talking about, Susie, about safe sex and condoms and all that good stuff. But we've had someone say that you should put some lubricant under the condom, but just at the tip. Inside
the condom. Not under it, but inside. Hello? Inside. If you put it under it, what does that mean? Underneath your testicles? No. Inside the condom.
Mike, we may have to shut Susie's mic off.
What?
Be a new Loveline record. Just 2 minutes into the show.
I call it your Gucci bag.
No, you know what under the condom means.
Yes,
What's under the covers? Does that mean under the bed, you smart ass? It means under the cover. Jesus Christ.
How quick did that take?
Oh, for Christ's sake. I already have a headache.
I love that.
But just at the head of the penis, right?
Yes. What you want to do is put a very small drop of lubricant on the inside of the condom before you roll it down, which means it is going to go in that little nipple part.
Right.
Then it's going to cover the head of the penis. And what that will do...
I hate to admit it, but that's where my penis goes. In the reservoir.
In the reservoir. That's okay. That's a good thing. We're not here to, worry about size. We're here to worry about feeling. And once the head of the penis is lubricated, it won't pull against the latex. And that's what you guys hate. There's two things you hate about condoms. Number one, you hate the fact that you don't feel that nice kind of slippery feeling that you feel inside the vagina. And number two, the thing you hate the most is how tight it feels in terms of its width, not its length.
Right.
So, you know what else you could do?
Yeah.
See the cap you have on your head? You know the ski caps and everything that guys...
The beanies
and stuff? If you unroll a condom, and most people don't know this, at least an inch or two, don't hold the tip and then roll it down like we tell you how to do it. Forget that. Unroll it at least an inch or two. Then stretch it out like you do pantyhose and a cap.
Really?
Then put it on. Then roll it down all the way to the pubic hair. Then go back and take all the air out. Now, doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm stretching it now to make sure that it's on you.
I didn't know that was kosher.
I don't want to choke your chicken.
I was sort of under the impression that you were supposed to handle it as little as possible, like
it's not dull.
Fluorescent light bulb or something.
It's not dull. It won't get tougher.
Okay, so let's see what other questions we might have for Susie. What about the dental dam? Does anybody use these things?
Are they gross or what? Do they taste terrible? Or, let's face it, this
I don't know.
Is not
Couldn't you
fun.
use a fruit roll-up?
You could
Wouldn't
definitely
that be
use the fruit roll-up. Well, you could use the fruit roll-up for about 20 minutes, and then it's gone.
I've not had my face in vagina for 20 minutes total. I'm not talking about just one time.
Me either. A couple of minutes, but not 20.
So
now,
we'll get back to that.
Well, how about, yes, I'm sure we will. Plastic food wrap.
All right, so those are better than the dental dam.
Plastic food wrap. Well, the plastic food wrap, what's nice about it is you can see through it. Has no bad odor or taste.
Right.
You can see what you're doing. You can wrap her up if you want, kind of like leftovers. You can do that whole thing if you want. I think it's easier.
And what about the female condom?
Love it.
That works?
Great condom.
Really?
Great condom.
Wonderful who's it better
Makes
for?
Makes a little noise, but that's fun. You can sing along with it.
Who's it better for, men or women?
Both. Both, actually. It works both ways.
And what about its efficacy?
It's about as effective in terms of its protection as a regular male latex condom when used correctly, because that's what you have to stress that. Most people don't use any condom correctly.
Right.
So what you really need to do is to use condoms correctly, and then they are very, very effective.
So the people that complain about the breakage aren't using them correctly?
They're not using them correctly. 99% of the people that have a condom that breaks on them didn't use it correctly.
What about the polyurethane condoms?
Well, that's what the female condoms are made out of, is polyurethane. And then they have a new Avanti. They have a new Avanti condom that's made. Now, here's the nice thing about the polyurethane. If you're allergic to latex, and there are some people that are allergic to latex, no problem there. The other good news is you can use an oil-based lubricant with a polyurethane condom, which you can't with a latex condom.
Yeah, but you don't want to use oil-based lubricant, do you?
Well, if that's all that's around, and there's some good oils that you may want to use.
Yeah, but
margarine.
I mean, that stuff doesn't come out of the comforter or the crotch without a little gasoline.
He's been there. He's been there, done that.
Yeah, I'm not into that. My two tips are don't use oil-based lubricants and never masturbate with Prel, fellas. These are my safety tips for the evening.
Right. It'll burn.
All right, well, we'll take some calls, and Susie, you, well, I don't have to tell you to jump in. Simon,
hi.
You're 25.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, I'm contemplating having a partial sex change, and basically just a castration. And I was told by a friend a couple of years ago that people who do this, guys that do this, run into a real risk of becoming like severely depressed or suicidal because they can't ever relieve themselves sexually.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the individual that opts to have his testicles surgically removed may have been flirting with a little bit of depression before the surgery. What do you think about that comment, Simon?
Oh, that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
What is it you're looking for here?
Well, I mean, I guess I could approach it philosophically, which I do sometimes, and just say that, I'm 25 and I've been a guy for a while, so I've only got so much time to live, so why not try something else?
No.
Okay, I don't think anyone is.
See, 125 isn't long enough to be a guy for me.
Are you planning to do this to yourself, or are you figuring that somebody's going to do this for you?
Oh, no. I'm here in Colorado, and I found there's a town here that does it.
I don't imagine they would be doing this for you unless you specifically had gender issues.
There's a town that does it.
This is not you.
Well, I'm in a town where there's a hospital that.
Okay.
This is not you wanting to be a woman. This is you with some sort of castration issue that you're acting.
Well, no, it is just specifically that. Outwardly, no one would be able to tell.
No, why don't you hook up with the right woman? Will castrate you eventually.
I'll tell you what. They will, as crazy as it is that people go through years of counseling in order to be deemed appropriate to have their genitalia lopped off.
To me, this is the funniest thing about this show we do. That when there's a guy and he wants to have estrogen, his Adam's apple shaved, electrolysis, and his Johnson lopped off, but he hasn't got to the point where he actually gets his penis lopped off because he still has a few more months of counseling just to make sure he's completely sane. Once he gets the big thumbs up from the shrink, then he can go ahead and have the penis cut off.
Why don't they just do it like inches so that, you could stop at a certain...
That's a good idea.
You know what I mean?
But Simon, this is a serious psychiatric issue, and and when you go for the evaluation, I'm sure that they will refer you accordingly. They will not refer you to the knife, though.
Simon.
Well, the problem with counselors...
What happened to you?
Both my parents are psychologists, so I have a real problem with counselors.
Well, then nobody's going to do this procedure to you. There's lots of preliminary work that has to be done before anybody's going to be doing mutilating and destructive surgery.
Have you been with a woman?
When I was, 17?
Uh-huh. And then who were you with after that?
One guy this past summer.
How about just liking yourself? How about that? How about, doing something really drastic, like learning to build up some sexual self-worth and confidence? That would be an interesting thing to do before you decide to go take parts of your body off.
Well, I consider myself to have a high self-esteem, and I'm very sexually active, but I'm monosexual.
What does that mean?
It means I just have sex with myself.
Yeah. What happened to you growing up? What kind of
hold on. Let me just replace the word active for jacks off a lot, and I think
well, it's deeper than
that. Got that.
It's deeper than that.
Yeah.
You put your finger in your ass while you masturbate?
Occasionally, but not often.
All right. So is that what you're talking about with the deeper part?
No, what I'm saying is that it's not just. I mean, a lot of times I'll masturbate and I won't even ejaculate.
What's going on?
That's called diddling. That's called scratching.
What happened? What was your family of origin like? What's the deal here?
Well, I mean, I guess what question you guys often ask is was a person molested? And yes, I was.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
That's what I was trying to say before. It's about learning to love yourself again.
So you've been traumatized severely.
Okay.
And that is now being manifested in these rather bizarre symptoms, Simon, and it's important that you go after treatment. No matter what modality you choose, these are symptoms of remnants of what has happened to you at a much younger age. And if you plan to restore self-esteem and be able to have interpersonal relationships, believe me, cutting parts of yourself off is not the route to that.
Yeah, and listen, anybody who was molested sexually should not be allowed to perform any surgery involving cutting of genitalia, because obviously that's the driving force behind it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't even be allowed to be gay or lesbian if you were molested, because I don't believe you actually are. You just got shoved that direction by some fat, drunken uncle when you were 9 years old. All right. Annabelle.
Oh, hello. I'm 17.
All right.
Yeah, I was...
Oh, Drew's going right for the wallet, Annabelle.
Really?
Yeah. He smells gambling already. Hold on a second, Annabelle. What, Drew, why are you gambling so fast? The voice? But she's only 17. Are you looking at the question?
Let us see
She's game. Susie, you have $1 on you?
Yeah.
Okay, get that out. We may be gambling. Okay. Annabelle? What's the question?
There's this girl, and I have, deep feelings for her, and,
Hold on a second. Susie, you got another $1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a 20. Can you take
I got a
20?
20.
Okay. I got a 10, too. Go ahead. Go ahead, Annabelle. We're hanging in there with the girl. Go ahead.
Okay, and I met her in the fall at my workplace, and I work at a radio store, so we're really close with everyone. And things were so well, and we exchanged numbers, and we, made plans, but then it never worked out because of some girl from New York that kind of, came in and left. It's kind of confusing. But I didn't see her for a while, and then, the last few weeks I saw her again, and we were getting really close again. And I think, it's a mutual feeling. At least I was sure at first. And she, we do really flirtatious things.
Well, Annabelle, what was your question?
She quit last Friday from work, and I don't know if I should call her or not, and I'm really scared of rejection.
Drew, you still want to gamble on Annabelle? Yeah, you do? Hold on, Annabelle.
Okay.
All right, let me explain to Susie. I don't know if you've heard this portion of the show or not before, but what we like to do is gamble on our listeners, not all of them, usually 3-4 times a week. How did people get where they are today? What kind of environment did they come from? What was the family of origin like? Alcoholism, physical abuse, sexual abuse, one too many Howie Mandel specials seen on the NBC station as a youth. What the hell got people to where they are today? Now, sometimes it's nothing, and then sometimes it's overt abuse. And we can pick up on the person's voice oftentimes, and it's the women that sound like little girls, although Annabelle's 17, not what I would call a woman, but Drew's got a hunch. So, Drew, you want to go first?
I'm going to say abusive alcoholic dad left early, and she got touched or something by one of the neighbors. Or somebody not immediately in the family, but somebody nearby came in and between the ages of 6 and 8.
Okay. I'm going with no sexual abuse. I'll just go with sort of neglect. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Susie?
Okay, I'm going with no sexual abuse either. I'm going more with overbearing mom.
Ooh.
Okay.
This is solid.
An overbearing mom, and she's probably a middle child.
Ooh. Well, Susie knows how to play the game. And knows how to build a lesbian, by the way. It's going to be the name for her next lecture tour. Annabelle?
Actually, my parents are lovely. They've been married for 35 years. And I'm the last child. My brothers are 34 and 30. So I always feel like I identify with older people. and no one ever abused me. But my mom is really overbearing.
I got one. Give me that money. Give me.
I wish I had $1 to give you.
I love you. And go call her. In fact, I got some money here that I can give you to go on a date with her. Go for it.
So,
what are you waiting for?
How old were you when you first had sex?
I'm a virgin.
Oh, Drew.
I'm just asking.
You're just moated and corroded tonight, buddy.
But she's 22, and that was always, like, an issue for me, because I thought maybe that's, like, too old. But, see, everyone there is old, so she thought I was old. She thought I was 20.
So you've never been with a man or a woman?
No. I've had boyfriends. They all turned out to be gay, but that's another thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And so your mom was very overbearing?
She kind of snoops in my room a little, and she's found, like, interesting stuff. And
Like what?
Like, last year I did a little marijuana, and she found that.
Mm-hmm.
That was only because I was with someone at the time, and I stopped as soon as, like, we broke up, and it has no side effects except I have a terrible memory.
Right.
What was this now?
She has a she's fine. She smoked a little weed. She's fine.
Yeah.
Terrible memory for what?
Just, like, I think that might have been a side effect.
So that was for a while you were having a bad memory?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And it sure can be.
But when your memory came back, you remembered you were a lesbian?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. All right. 17 and 22. When are you going to be 18?
August.
I don't know. I don't care about women dating and age differences. I'm not nuts about a 17-year-old girl and a 22-year-old guy, but I'm not worried about some,
She sounds pretty mature, actually.
Yeah, her voice changed. Drew, you really screwed yourself on that whole gambling thing.
There's still something up here. There's something up.
Yeah? Why? Because you lost $1?
No, I don't know what it is, but something's up.
Well, you want to pick a call, or you just want to sort of waller in your own defeat?
Did we help her there? Is she going to call her or
just
not?
Call her.
Okay,
you're 17. I wish I'd called everybody when I was 17. You act like it's the biggest thing in the world, and then you get to be our age, and you look back on all those days, and you say, I wish I would have just freed myself up a little bit and gone out and done what I wanted to do. Perhaps now I'd have herpes or something. Julia.
Hi.
Hey, you're 15.
I'm 15.
What's going on there? You're on with Susie Landolfi. Susie is, she's co-owner of Condomania, and used to do a radio show, right?
Yeah, I did a radio show here in LA.
And basically, she's the sex broad.
Yep.
Hot, sexy, and safer.
I even have some. So, go ahead.
There's a guy that I know, a friend of mine. I went out with him a couple times, I guess. It's kind of an on and off thing. It's really strange because I don't like him a lot of the time. Like, I don't like the person he is. And we can't stand each other, and we fight, like, every time we're alone. For the first couple of minutes, but, I don't know. There's something that it's just like, we'll start screaming at each other, and we'll just, like, start making out.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I miss those days.
Sounds like me and my husband. Yeah, me too. Get married. You're almost there.
I don't like him, but I'm just, like, extremely attracted to him, and I don't know, this never happened to me before.
Yeah. How old is he?
He's 15, too.
Is he kind of bad boy?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Women hate to admit it, but they do like guys that are a little bit rough around the edges. They don't necessarily like the, boozing, all-out abusers. But they like guys who kind of set them straight, and they complain about it a lot. They say they hate those kind of guys. But ultimately, on some level, I believe that almost every woman is attracted to that sort of Humphrey Bogart, African Queen kind of guy. Don't you think, Drew?
Yeah, I to some extent. Women want to feel safe, and there's a strong man that doesn't need them, and who can support them.
Well, I like someone who's going to fight with me. I want someone, too, that's going... When I say fight with me, I certainly don't mean physical fight, but maybe what you're talking about is someone that isn't just yesing you to death. I wouldn't want that in a female friend or a male friend or a lover.
What do you fight about, Julia?
But you women want conversation. That's the problem. I was talking to this girl over the weekend, and she was telling me the ideal man for her. And she says, I want a guy that when we're at the airport, we can talk for 7 hours together while we're waiting for some flight delay or something. For 7 hours, we can sit in that airport and talk. I said, that's why they got the newsstands.
We fight about really just odd stuff. It's more relationship-y stuff that we'll go back. We'll go back to when we were together and like, oh, well, you did this, and oh, well, you're the one who said this, and then we'll start screaming at each other for things because we always try to pretend that we want to be friends. Does that make sense?
That's Scarlett O'Hara going with the wind.
It's not. I don't know. It's like I could have other guys that I mean.
Right. And you don't like those guys that you know you could have.
It's too easy.
Too easy.
Yeah, this is a power
I can have Mike easy, too. So, I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, you know, the thing is when you're young, you want that struggle, you want the you want the conquest, you want the challenge. When you get older, about my age, you hope she gets loaded and passes out.
Plus,
so
you don't have anybody in your life you can overpower when you're 15. There's very few people underneath you.
Right.
So if you can't yell at your parents and you have no control in school and you have no control anyplace else, it's really nice to be able to sit around with someone and feel like you have some control. So both of you are playing out that whole deal of, I want to feel like I have some power.
Well, and here's the deal. Julia knows what's going on, so go ahead and have fun with it until it gets to the point where you're not having fun anymore, and then screw it. All right. Well, we got a good-looking audience coming in here. Drew, you want to sell the hell out of the next call?
No.
You're pissed because you lost a buck?
Yep. No, I'll read what. Let's see what comes in.
Hey, you don't have a call yet. That's good radio, by the way.
All
right, let me try to see if I can sell that.
You want to take a call?
No, I'm just saying, you want to sell something before we go into
I
the
would like to
goddamn
discuss
break?
it with you before we sell it.
Can't you just pick one that you think would be titillating and sell it?
Mike has been on meds
Jesus
for
Christ, he's been on the radio for 15 years.
For 10 years.
It's like they're married, folks. I'm sitting here and I feel like I'm
couples
in
work.
It is. You need some couples work.
Has been on schizophrenic meds for 10 years. He wants to know if his fertility will be affected.
Yeah, people aren't going to stick around for
that.
Have
sperm, but they'll look
that's the
strange.
point.
All right, we'll go to break. We'll come back with something better.
All right, everybody. TrueCar, you know how much I love these guys and their app. I spend a lot of time on it, and it's a way to see exactly what's going on in your area. Pick a car, learn about the cars, and see what people are paying for the very car, the exact car you want. You know, there was previous ways to buy cars. You went and hang out on a lot. Now technology evolves. Everything evolves. Buying cars evolves. It advances. It makes sense that there's a new and better way to buy a car. Well, that's now called TrueCar. The TrueCar app, it's special, unique. Their certified dealer network is unsurpassed. They partner with over 10,000 TrueCar certified dealers that believe in a new way to buy a car. It's hassle-free. It's easy. It's fun. Use the TrueCar app. You can get guaranteed savings. TrueCar certified dealers will honor the savings that are guaranteed and locked in at TrueCar on your TrueCar app. It is that simple. TrueCar and TrueCar certified dealers. And using TrueCar certified dealers, you will save an average of $3,221 off MSRP. No headaches, no hassle. It's fun. And if you don't even want to buy a car, you just want to learn about it, check out the app. 2 million cars sold through TrueCar Certified Dealer Network, and you will work directly with the certified dealer contact. It is easy. It's evolved. It's technology. It's made simple. It's about time.
Hey, this is Fiona Apple, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
All right, and it's National Condom Week, and you know what that means. That means Susie Landolfi is here. Adam Glickman will be in here. He's Mr. Condom, I like to call him. Susie and Adam both are involved with Condomania, which I'm sure some of our affiliates don't have a branch of in their hometown, but it's basically a store that it's condoms, lubricants, and what?
Oh, all kinds of
hard candy.
Yeah, hard candy, absolutely. Penis pasta.
Somebody sent me some of that. I thought, yeah, listen, for 59 cents, I go down to the store and get some regular spaghetti. I'm not going to risk going gay for this.
No, we have a lot of novelty items, but we have a lot of, we make sure that you understand how to use a condom correctly, because that's the key.
You have some sort of fitting room or some sort of testing lab?
Actually, I used to do that to customers, like the young kids would be standing by the counter kind of looking at them, and I'd say, excuse me, if you don't know your size, I'd be happy to bring you in the fitting room and help you out. And of course, they'd turn 10 shades of red. You know?
But, you make a little extra scratch. What the hell? Dana.
And have a laugh.
Dana.
Hi.
Hey, 14, what's going on there?
I have a major problem.
Good. Come in for us.
Yeah, okay. About a month ago, my friend and I, Alex, were joking around about phone sex, and I don't know, something came up and I gave him some.
Mm-hmm.
And now, when he calls me up, he'll talk to me for 15 minutes, it's like friends, and all of a sudden, just starting the stage where just all he wants is phone sex.
Mm-hmm. How does he slide into that?
I don't know, just like, I'll be talking to him, and, like, the next minute I'll be, like, giving it to him. It's really, really weird.
You don't know how he convinces you to go in that direction.
But he doesn't just stop and make a abrupt transition into the phone sex.
Not really.
He just starts sliding into that. So, did you see America's Funniest Videos tonight? Boy, that Daisy Fuentes, she's quite a hot piece of Latin ass. She's wearing this, like, cocktail dress that was slit all the way up the side. I'll tell you what, I don't know if she's wearing sheer pantyhose or she just works out like a mofo or it's that Latin blood, but I'll tell you, those dark, long legs.
Okay, nothing like that, right, Dana? Okay.
I don't know if I'm supposed to laugh or whack off to that show anymore. Have you seen that show now?
Which show?
America's Funniest Videos now. This Daisy Fuentes is going out like a thong back and doing jumping jacks and stuff. It's really, it's I'm offended.
Dan, is it possible that you want to be doing this with him?
Kind of. I've had, like, since I've been doing this, I've had kind of, like, these weird feelings about him.
What would be a weird feeling?
Like, I don't know if I like him or not, but it's kind of...
How do you have phone sex at a 14-year-old? It's like, baby, I'm going to take my retainer out.
How long does it take? You know, like 2 seconds? I mean, how long can you talk to this kid at 14? I mean...
about half an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
what's
half hour.
Does he say he's playing with himself?
Yeah.
But we don't know for sure.
Bitch.
Oh.
Can't believe
that. What about that?
So, are you ready to be engaged in this kind of activity at your age?
I don't know.
No.
Are you attracted to him?
Now she is.
A little bit, but not really, because, like, the big thing is, like, he's bi or whatever.
He's bisexual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've always assumed he was, like, majorly gay.
He's how old?
14, too.
Yeah, Andy, you can't really, at 14, all you can say is that he's confused about his sexuality. It's about the best you can do. And he's dragging you into stuff that you're really not prepared for, and it's creating a lot of strong feelings for him that you wouldn't really choose to have if you developed a relationship first. He's not the guy you want to have a relationship with. It's just you're sort of going off in this direction in a way it's creating strong feelings. I would suggest that you stop doing this. I really would. I think you're into a confusing area for you with a person who probably creates a lot of chaos in his relationship.
Oh, God knows. I mean, to be 14 and bi, somebody had to snap your underwear somewhere along the line. What's that?
He gets teased a lot about it too, and he's
don't not be his friend, but I would cease the phone business because you're not ready for it.
Okay.
Don't do it, then.
And not with him anyway.
And another thing was though, like at the end of the phone calls, usually he'll like say he loves me or whatever, and I don't know what he means by that.
Well, at 14, he doesn't know either.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
He loves that orgasm, is basically what he's saying. So.
Jesus Christ! At 14, here is my sexual excitement at 14. Hey, look, the dog's penis is coming out when he scratches himself. Look, oh boy, look at that! Wow, look at that.
Well, I find that most 14-year-olds can't even masturbate with comfort. Never mind sort of going, I mean...
Yeah, they have guilt and confusion.
Yeah, it sounds to me like if she's not even comfortable with herself and she's helping someone else, it's the wrong step process here. Get comfortable with yourself first before you help someone else have their orgasm. Have your own.
Born too early. I wish I could go back to high school.
You know what else is interesting, Drew? You probably find this too, and Adam, I don't think you're there yet, but usually when you do something once, you then feel obligated to do it again, as opposed to saying, well, gee, I did that once, and guess what? Right. I didn't like it, so I don't want to do it again. You almost feel your guilt and your shame feel so badly, it makes you do it again. And we got to tell teenagers and say, the smartest thing you can do is if you do something you don't like it, don't go back and do it again. Yeah. Just say, I did it once, I didn't like it, and move on.
Yeah. For me, it was an Herbalife meeting.
There you go. That's it.
I went to one Herbalife meeting, and I said, that's enough. When the woman stood up and gave the testimonial about, I feed the Vitapack to my dog, and he hasn't had a flea. Okay. I'm out of here. I'm going back to cleaning carpets.
You are a good role model. I don't care what they say about you.
Thank you. Who's they? Cece.
Oh, hi.
Hey, you're 34.
Yes, I am.
Sounds really old, but it's...
Oh, I know. I feel it, too. I just want to say you two are great, and you are better than talking to a psychic hotline.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're bankrupt. That's the good news.
Anyway, I'm trying to decide where I should begin. All right. I've had this on-again, off-again relationship with my now ex-boyfriend. We've known each other since we were, like, teenagers, and we have a 15-year-old daughter. Okay, and our relationship has been rocky except for, like, in the bedroom. Okay, But on the other hand, for the past 14 years, I've also had this fantasy crush on one of my friends. But I've never really acted on it.
14 years, huh?
Yes.
Boy, Miss Impulsive,
this CC. Off again with that. And it's like...
She was doing something with that. What was happening with that?
I don't know. Okay, you mean with my fantasy?
Yeah.
Okay, well, with that, I just met him one night. I never, I didn't actually meet him, but I seen him from across the room, and it was like instant love attraction. And, I didn't really know him, but he was like my brother's friend.
And you still have just never spoken with him? But
yeah, we do. We talked a little bit, but I never reveal how I felt.
Right. Yeah.
Because I figured, well, he wouldn't like me anyway. I had low self-esteem back then.
Well, he's probably got the hots for your 15-year-old.
Oh, no. This was back then when she was little.
Probably worse.
But now I re-met him again, and we're just friends, and I, poured out how I felt about him, but come to realize, we are just friends. But in the meantime, with my on-again, off-again 18-year relationship with my daughter's dad, it's like I am so mixed up on my feelings. I know I truly love this man, but when he's here, we'd fight, and he's like immature, I'm immature, and we just cannot get along. But then when I want him to leave, it's like, get away from me, I hate you, I don't love you.
Well, why are you rushing? Give another 10 or 15 years and, just see how things turn out.
Well,
wait till you hit menopause.
Yeah, well,
and
I keep thinking that
prostate explodes.
Every time we split up, then I always...
All right, listen. See, go find another guy. 14, 15 years is enough to figure it out. That's what I would call a long trial period.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Well, I'm also wondering what it's doing
really
to the daughter.
Out.
This back and forth is going to just...
Yeah, it
she needs to know where
like,
you adults
when he's
are.
Gone, I'm devastated. Like last night, I just, lost it. And
how can you lose it on and off for 14 years? You know what I mean?
Because that's what she needs. Yeah. That is the idea of a relationship.
I know, but logically, the guy's left 7,000 times.
Probably.
And how did your daughter deal with this?
But it's like we love each other.
How did your daughter deal with this?
I know she's confused, and she loves us, and I don't try to get her in the middle, but then sometimes we do. And she's close with both of us, but sometimes she's, she doesn't know what to do. But she wants us together, but she don't want us to fight, and sometimes she has to be the mediator.
The worst part about all of this is I'm thinking of what you're missing, not what you have, but I'm thinking about the relationship that you're missing. The one that you could have, but neither one of you will ever have together, nor will you have with anybody else because you're tap dancing.
Well, God knows he's probably been through 25 relationships in the last 14 years. But, Cece...
You have a child.
You have a child.
She's a
Start
child.
acting like a mom,
would you? The child is not the parent. You are.
Yeah, the kid's 15. All right, here are your two big plans. Find a new guy to have on-again, off-again relationship
no more
with.
on-again, off-again.
Okay, find a guy, and don't let your 15-year-old get pregnant.
And don't jump for guys you have love at first sight with.
Right.
Mike.
Bad choice.
You're 29.
Yes, hi, Adam Drew.
Mike.
Hello?
Yep.
Say hi to Susie Landolfi, too.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hey, dickhead. I'm hanging up on you.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I have a question for Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
My name's Mike, and I'm 29 years old, and, to cut a long story short, I used to smoke pot when I was a lot younger, and I got sick because of it. I was really, really ill, so I got mentally ill from smoking it. And the doctor put me on these narcotics, Haldo and Artide.
Those aren't narcotics.
Well, that's what they told me anyways, and I was wondering if I can still have babies.
Possibly. The marijuana has nothing to do with the mental illness in this case.
All right, Drew, next time a guy has schizophrenia on the screen, tell me so I don't call him a dickhead. Please. You never realize that's going to be my reel when I'm trying to get into heaven?
You got bigger fish to worry about. Bigger things to worry about.
Called a poor schizophrenic.
But the medications that are useful in the treatment of chronic psychotic illnesses like schizophrenia do not necessarily affect fertility. Usually don't.
But Mike, maybe a family shouldn't be at the top of the list.
Yeah, in terms of
right
stressors to add to your life.
Yeah. I'd say holding down a job, moving out the house, and sort of keeping out of trouble for a few years.
Taking your medicines. These are not narcotics. These are medicines that are therapeutic. and important to prevent this illness from running out of control.
Okay, here's what oh my God.
What?
Jeez, I'm going right into the gutter.
Why?
I read the question before I saw the age. His very large breasts attracts a lot of attention from men. I was getting excited. She's 12 years old.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
All right, well, I'll be ashamed when we come
we got to
back.
talk about this.
Yes.
This is important.
What, you know about the big breasts?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You do?
Yeah, well, I didn't bring mine with me, but I know about it.
They out in the car? Because I can go grope them.
Okay.
All right, I feel a fight coming on.
All right, here's a question for you. Are you using our brand new 2016 version of the Podcast One app to listen to this very show? Well, if the answer is no, it is time to get to the App Store, Google Play, or Podcast One website and download it. Go get it now. It's easier, way easier than it's been in the past. And it's got a whole bunch of new features that you have been wanting and asking for. And after you've downloaded it, make sure to give it good reviews. Brand new 2016 Podcast One app. Download it now from the App Store, Google Play, or at podcastone.com. I promise you'll be glad you did. You've been asking for it. You got it. And also check out our new show called Chilling Tales. It's available on the app. It is a scripted mystery with a new story each week, much like the Serial series. It was top 10 in iTunes last week. You are going to love it. Again, get that Podcast One app to listen to this show if you're not doing so already. It's available at the App Store, Google Play, or Podcast One website. Get it now.
Hey, how you doing? This is Darren from Goldfinger, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Oh, no, that's all I could come up with in short notice.
I love the way the entire Goldfinger band makes fun of Darren constantly. Susie Landolfi is here. Adam Glickman will be in here soon. We'll talk a little more about condoms when Adam comes in here because he is the world's foremost expert on condoms. National Condom Week is part of what has got these people out here. And Susie did lecturing for many years, hot, sexy and safer, where you go to colleges and basically masturbate in front of a frat guys, or how did that work?
No, I had them masturbate in front of me because most men don't masturbate correctly.
It's the most ridiculous, asinine statement I've ever heard in my life. So,
which makes me really suspect for you.
What do you mean? I masturbate so well that I oftentimes have my penis goes from flaccid to back into my pants before the sperm hits the carpet.
What I told you.
Is there
exactly what I said.
Anything other than the puff that comes out now?
No, there's nothing left in there.
Powdery puff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, can we just throw in the California AIDS hotline in here?
Please.
One time, 1-800-367-AIDS, because they were nice enough to call me to ask me to come in here.
Here's a little AIDS factoid. Every 15 minutes of every day, they could just say every 15 minutes whenever they do these effing factoids. Yeah. They really do. I don't think that
these days.
I don't think that train wrecks don't happen on Sundays or that Parkinson's doesn't strike, like, let's say, on weekends or something like that. But anyway, of every day, another person, 24 or younger, gets infected with HIV. Tragic. And as of June 1997, more than 600,000 people in the U.S. have been diagnosed with AIDS. So we got to do something about this, and frankly, I'm taking a stand tonight.
Good.
I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I'm taking a stand. Drew? Okay, stop doodling. Are you doing some math?
Yeah, but
Drew's trying to figure out how many people die of...
I get it.
Hey, it's the easiest disease not to get.
Yeah, really?
Think about that. That's what my daughter told me once, 12 years old. It's the easiest disease not to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, think about that. It's true.
Well, I'd say it's tied with, like, malaria if you live in this country. Amanda.
Hi.
You're 12.
Uh-huh. Only 12.
How large are your breasts?
Well, last time I checked, they were a D.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my God.
How tall are you?
I'm about 5'3".
About 5'3". And how much do you weigh?
You really want me to tell you how much I weigh?
Yes, I want to know how much you weigh.
About 145 pounds.
Right. And I knew that.
You did?
Do you know how I knew that?
Why?
Because breasts are mostly made up of fatty tissue.
Yeah.
Do not do anything about these breasts, because by the time you're in your late teens and early 20s, chances are you're going to lose a lot of that fat.
Really?
And a lot of it's going to come off of your breasts. And what that means is a lot of young girls freak out around 13, 14, 15, 16, go and get breast reductions.
People do them?
Yep. they'll do them. And I've actually have a friend who this happened to.
Oh,
she had it done
criminal.
twice.
Forget about this AIDS
18.
thing. Let's talk about this. This is a real tragedy.
Had it done twice before she was 18. So guess what happened when she hit 20?
What?
Lost all this weight. And guess where her breasts are now? They're in the doctor's office.
Looking like a Cadillac with shopping cart wheels. And
I know it's hard.
I had a friend that did this, too.
I know that the guys and the kids make fun, and I know it's really hard.
And they ruin it for us guys who really enjoy the breasts.
Actually, I mean, I have no problem with them other than they're heavy.
Right.
But, you know, I also, when I go to the mall or something, lots of older men, like 40s and sometimes like 70s,
Yep.
just make rude comments and just like...
Well, they are idiots.
Stupid men.
Could be dementia
stupid
for the guys
men, and
in
you have
their
a right
70s.
to say, get a life and get away from them.
Amanda, you're 5'3", you're 145, which in Radioville means 157. So why don't you lose a little bit of the weight and then see if the breasts go with them?
Well, actually, I've tried that before. It doesn't work.
It does eventually. It really does.
Okay.
It does eventually. But don't go crazy about your weight either. You're 12 years old.
Yes.
Be who you are right now. Relax.
Right. Enjoy.
And it's the guy's problem. It's not yours.
Oh, what a horrible society we're living in. I mean, I could not imagine being a heavy 11, 12.
Women, that they're supposed to be thin with huge breasts. That's the other thing that will happen. Then you're in your 20s, you'll lose so much weight and your breasts will get small. You'll go buy new ones. I'm always sitting there going, well, when is it going to be okay that we have to say to every guy, you have to have very large testicles, and you have to start... That's the only thing that's really sexy. So I want both of you to go out there and go buy some big balls.
I don't want to ruin a pair of panties here, but I got testicles in spades. They're so big they dwarf my penis.
5, a few extra.
That's right.
Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's ridiculous. You guys would so balk if all of a sudden the style was...
Adam doesn't want to hear that that's ridiculous. He's devastated on that.
What?
I'm glad you have big balls.
I do. I have tremendous
I just don't
testicles.
want it to have to be something that you have to have in order to be sexy or attractive.
Yeah. Well,
I think the great irony is in the 6,000 years when anthropologists dig up the 20th century female, they're going to find these silicone sacks sitting on their chest and never imagine they were placed in during life. They're going to figure it was some sort of funeral procedure. They laid some sacks on their chest as part of the ritual of the burial process. Never imagined they were inserted.
Part of their dowry.
All right, Drew, you finished?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's... What?
I hate that story.
Why?
Oh, please, it sucks.
Hi, what's up?
You're 17.
Yeah, I've got kind of a problem I kind of want to talk about.
All right.
Sorry. Well, what do you think? Do you want to hear the question or the story behind it?
We don't really want to hear either one. We'd like
first.
to go home.
Question.
Okay, well, the question is, right now I'm feeling pretty low, and I want to know how I can cheer up a little bit.
And why are you low?
Well, basically, I'm a really outgoing person. I've had lots of friends throughout my life. And I switched my friends because I've gone to private school my entire life, and I know everybody like they're my family. So I started hanging around with, like, a completely different crowd.
Why?
And I was like, why? Because I got tired of all the people in my little private school. I've gone to private school since I've been in kindergarten. And basically I know everybody there since I've been 5. And it's like I just got tired of hanging out with them.
Who did you decide to hang out with?
Well, just people that don't go to my school. And, like, basically it's been the more interesting, exciting crowd. I guess you could say the druggies or whatever.
Are you doing drugs with them?
I have.
What drugs are you doing?
I have done a bunch of different drugs in the past. I've done pot, I've done cocaine, heroin, and LSD. And these exciting, lovely friends that are exposing you to all this, right? Well, no, not exactly. See, like, for a long time I was like, no, I don't want to get into that.
All right. Why are you down now?
How long can it be? You're 17 years old.
Yeah. Heroin is not something. It's not a part-time.
Yeah, well, basically heroin. I tried it and I was like.
Well, Sarah, you're into it. You're passing thresholds rapidly that head off into very severe forms of addiction.
So what's your question?
Well, my question is like, basically, I haven't talked to very many of my friends at my school. I see them, and I don't talk to them very much.
But how do these friends you're hanging with now upset you?
Well, right now, like, one of my friends, he called me up and he says, I don't want to talk to you ever again. And he bases this on the fact that another one of the people I know said I said stuff about him, and it's, like, totally wrong. It's not true.
So you're trapped between two groups of friends.
Yeah, basically. And I also got dropped by 2 people to go out to a dance this Friday. It's like a Valentine's Day.
Were these the drug guys?
Yeah, but it's not like they're...
I assure you the drugs are more important to them than you are. And that's what happens to people that are focused on drugs. You need to figure out why you need to use substances to medicate your feelings. Something is really bothering you, and you're looking for answers in every wrong way possible.
Go back and hang out with the socias.
Yeah, why ostracize you? It's like you're punishing yourself. You know, you took away what you really liked, which were your friends. Even though you'd been with them for a long time, being with someone for a long time isn't a bad thing. And you went off and almost like said, I don't like myself as much anymore, so I'm going to go with a lower group of friends.
All right,
it's like you're punishing
stop
yourself.
doing drugs, go back to the old friends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're having very, very... Oh. No, but she's getting some very loud messages about why she should. I mean, she should listen to this.
Tracy.
Hey.
Hey, you're 18. What's going on there, Pumpkin?
Well, before I ask my question, I was wondering if I could be considered for you to fart on me.
Oh. Well, now this is interesting.
Oh, wait. You didn't tell me anything about this.
It's not going to be this evening.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, what do you have, delicate sensibilities?
No, I have to go through that every day with my own husband. You think I want to come in here and be farted on, too?
Yeah, you know he breaks big wind.
Oh, do we ever.
He looks like Dan Haggerty, this guy. You know, there's something wicked coming out of his ass.
This guy can talk.
Yeah, I'm sure, some people can, belch the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm sure David probably can make words. He probably has to use his hands and manipulate his cheeks.
Talk.
All right, no, I meant out his ass.
Oh, that too.
Tracy.
Yeah.
All right, so let me explain to Susie. I'll do this as quickly as possible. Some weeks back, a girl called up, wanted to go on the internet and be naked for $500. She didn't want to do it. Her friends didn't want her to do it, but she wanted the $500. I jokingly said, "How about I fart on your head for $500? It's compromising your integrity, just the same."
And definitely connected. I can see.
And
how
you still get the $500. She said, "Yeah," and then she bailed out, and I decided this was good radio. But here's what I'm looking for.
And only you.
I'm looking for a young female. We're going to set up an army cot. I will come in here in just my underpants and do the show. Drew's given me, as a doctor, has given me some techniques on gas. I've experimented with some diet, and I will pay a listener $500 to fart on their head, but it has to go to a worthy cause, like books or tuition or, rehab or a car. I don't know about a car. What's the deal, Tracy?
I go to college, and it's like 20 miles away, and I have to bum rides off my brother, and it takes me an hour to get home on the bus.
Junior college?
Yes, and
that's a strike.
No, Adam.
20 miles to go to junior college. That's thinking.
That is just some sorry cop-out excuse as to why you didn't finish college.
9 years of 20 miles to junior college,
hey,
Tracy.
I bet you I have more education.
Tracy,
right now.
Junior college is high school with ashtrays.
Tracy, you're saying you have more education than he does.
My friends in college,
Listen.
We're talking to two people who are talking about farting,
Yeah,
and you're
right.
both arguing about how bright you are. Hello,
please.
You may have more education than I at the tender age of 18, but who will be farting on whose head, Tracy?
No. Hey, it's worth it.
All right, where do you live?
I live 6 hours away.
Can you hold it that long?
I'm sure my brother would be glad to take me.
Were you in Modesto
not,
or
I'd
something?
ride the bus.
Where are you?
In Merced.
Are we? Where the hell's Merced?
It's in
San Jose.
It's in
Joaquin
Spain,
Valley.
isn't it? San Joaquin Valley? So can you jump on like a cabbage truck or something that's leaving town and come on out here?
Oh,
I'm getting desperate because the screening process is not what it was. Are you attractive?
Well, I weigh like 250 pounds.
Oh, really? All right, that's novel. That's novelty big.
Right.
All right, so we'll put you on hold. Here's the deal. I don't want someone who's like 145, 150 pounds. I either want 125 or 325. I want novelty big. Okay, this will be good. Besides, when I sit down, I'll be like I'm sitting on a whoopee cushion when I break one. All right, I'm desperate, Ann. Let's put Tracy on hold, get her phone number. I don't care if she uses the money for crack at this point. I have to do this. We'll be back. Hey, it's Loveline. Susie Landolfi is still here. We're being joined by Adam Glickman. He is the condom expert. All right. Drew, can I go ahead and do the show here for a second? And we will be back in 10 seconds.
This is Loveline on radio station.
98 KUPD, Tempe, Phoenix.
All right. Second half of Loveline, 1-800-LFEE-191. Dr. Adam Carolla. Adam Glickman has now joined us. He's the CEO of Condomania and basically condom expert. I know you have credentials that go beyond that title, but I don't want to get into it. So you brought
a potpourri of condoms.
And let's see. Well, what do you want to start with? By the way, Glickman, Jewish name?
Yes.
No, see if your mom is pissed.
This makes good cocktail party
You
talk,
couldn't sell insurance. You had to go out and be the condom boy.
Nice Jewish boy. That's right, selling rubbers.
All right, so what about this one? This is first. This is a condom that Adam has inflated for us.
It's a new condom called the Extra Pleasure, and what makes it unique is this bulbous shape at the top of the condom, which allows for a lot more sensitivity because it doesn't constrict the nerve endings.
Said it's good for piercings, too.
It's good for piercings, the Prince Albert, and it generally produces a whole lot more sensation than your typical condom.
So basically, it sort of looks like a light bulb with an idea. You rarely see a light bulb with the idea thing on top of it, but this one is. It's got the little reservoir on top of the thing. All right, what else do you have there?
I brought both smaller-sized condoms and larger-sized condoms. This is actually kind of a serious issue. There are a lot of men out there of any age that need smaller-sized condoms.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be embarrassed to find them, to use them, especially for teenagers. Condoms slipping off can be a big problem.
You know what they ought to do, honestly, if they want guys to go out and purchase the small junior size or the tiny mite or whatever they're calling it, just have the variety pack and let the guy pick out the small one. That way he'd play it safe. It's like when you order the cereal packets and you just eat the Captain Crunch out of it and you throw away the Special K. It's the same theory. I think guys would be more apt to buy it.
Well, we actually have. We have, at Condomania, we have a sampler. And in our sampler, we have the thinner, the stronger, the larger, and the smaller.
Well, when do you qualify for the snugger fit, smaller ones?
Generally, when you're more narrow.
After 6 beers?
So you don't have the can of corn going? I mean, you don't have the girth thing going?
Yeah. It's when you're sort of a Slim Jim.
All right, I'm going to put
My
this
husband
one
has a
over
small
here.
average penis.
He does?
Yeah.
Oh, and he's a big guy. Yeah. Oh, that's a curse. That's a curse.
No, it's good. I mean, how long do you think a vagina is? Why do we worry about how big a penis is when no one wants to talk about how long or wide a vagina is?
I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about around the gym. Big grizzly Adam-type mountain man walking around with a small average penis. That's got to be rough.
The vagina takes up the slack.
I don't care about the sex. I want a big penis for guys. So guys can know who's king of the gym.
And towel on it. That's
right.
I know.
All right, Adam, what else we got here?
Well, we do have some flavored condoms. We have some pina colada, pineapple, and cocktail-flavored condoms, which are sort of new.
This, to me, falls under the heading. It's like what I told the dentist when she mentioned the hygienist said, you know the Bonami powder we're going to scrub your mouth with now? It tastes like pina colada. It's like, just save it. I'll go have an effing drink after this.
Taste it.
It's not going to be pleasurable.
Taste it.
I'm not going to taste
this
condom. No.
Taste it.
That is disgusting.
Give me that condom.
This is coconut.
Oh, you're so
Drew, you
weird.
put it on and I'll have a lick. What flavor is
right
this?
now.
Coconut.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
It smells coconut?
Yeah. Yeah, anything's better than that salty bleachy. Oh.
I have banana.
No, your pineapple.
All right.
Oh, see? That shows how good it is.
It's fruity.
What else? Anything else? Any innovations? What is this thing?
That's
making me hungry.
That's a big goof.
Oh, okay. This is just the extra
No,
large
that's
one.
for you,
I'm going to keep this one
Adam,
too. I'm
that's
hang that
for
from my
you.
rear view of the Moby Dick.
A moment ago, we showed you the polyurethane condom. That's a whole new material, a little bit stronger.
Was that this one?
Yeah, and it's made of plastic instead of latex, and it's heat conductive, so it warms up. You actually feel some of that body warmth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's.
I like that, like a hunting sock.
Yeah, it's not bad.
You know, Drew, what was it on Loveline, the TV show? You got out the female
Reality.
condom? Is that it is?
Right.
And they cut it out?
Well, they got very upset with me afterwards, anyway.
This is great. MTV, whose basically their motto is, let's get a guy on a mechanics creeper so we can actually film inside the chick's legs while she's dancing on the grind, does not condone the use of the female condom on the display.
I've shown them on network television. Go figure. Go figure.
We'll see. I don't have to ask the guys if they ended up putting that on or not, but
I hope they did.
Show them your Clinton one over there.
Yeah, where's the Bubba Dubba? And this was before the whole Monica Lewinsky thing?
Yeah, read that, Adam. That's really funny.
All right. I'm not amused by novelty stuff. Someone got me, like, for my 18th birthday, the jock full of nuts, jock strap filled with nuts. I was like, yeah, $18 for this, you smart ass. Just give me a large pizza. That's what I'm going to say. Any novelty gifts? I want a large pizza instead. Susan.
Hi.
You're 19.
Yeah, first of all, you guys are awesome. You're really perceptive and really funny and stuff. And my problem is that I'm 19. I look really young for my age, but the only male attention I receive seems to be from people 30 and over.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just wondering, like, what's up with that? Is that some kind of, like, aura I'm exuding, or is it, like, just the fact that older guys are perverted, or what?
What's the quality of the interaction you have with them?
Pretty low. Usually it's, like, bus drivers and stuff saying, hey, you're beautiful and stuff, but I don't get that from guys my own age at all. I get, like, I've never been in a relationship.
Yeah.
So it's like,
It may be a passing thing, because I had this thing where my mom's old Yenta friends were all into me for like 5 years, but no one close to my age was into me.
And now it's different?
They died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, what's up with the fact that I look like 15?
Are you in college?
Yeah.
So you're around peers?
Yeah.
You just haven't really struck up?
No, Adam, you're going to love this. I'm in junior college.
Oh, boy.
And I get, like, 35-year-old whatever dropouts after me, too, at school, so that's kind of stupid.
Well, those are desperate men.
That's the beauty
of
junior college.
Men.
You get guys in their 40s that are in their 170th semester coming on to you.
Right. They're like, I have 80 units, and I'm like, oh, God.
Hey, how about we meet over at the snack shack after a human sexuality class, and I'll put my number on your peachy folder.
That's very...
All right.
Well, 19-year-old guys aren't as
overt.
Yeah, exactly. They're not feeling very self-confident themselves to be able to go after you.
Yeah.
The 35-year-old loser is so desperate that the only person he's going to go after is someone younger, hoping you could...
Well, if anything happens with any repetition, just go ahead and blame yourself. Okay. That's always my motto. And it's maybe a phase, too. I mean, like I said, I believe there may be some times in your life where you pass through a couple of years where you attract this type of person, then a time when you attract others. I don't think she's going to be 35 and attracting guys in their 80s. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The point is, there's some reason she may or may not figure it out. It will probably pass. She needs to focus on guys she does wish to be with and assert herself there.
Here's how I would treat junior college, like the band Menudo. You familiar with their policy? The band Menudo.
Turn over every year?
Yeah, as soon as you hit 18, you're out.
You're out.
That's it. You're working the churro cart. You go from playing soccer stadiums to working the churro cart at the stadium. That's how I treat junior college. I give you 3 years. I'll give you an extra year to F around. But after that, I'm cleaning house. Kate.
Hello.
You're 21.
Yes, I am.
What's going on?
First of all, what I would like to say is that I'm so happy to hear that you guys have some condom experts on the show, because there has been a lot of evidence that it is possible to seroconvert to get AIDS through oral sex.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. And it is possible also to get STDs from oral sex.
Of course.
I'm happy to hear that you guys are being responsible about that.
Well, now, wait a minute. Every night we talk about that.
Every night, but sometimes...
Well, let's be fair, Drew. You only did it last night when the question came
every night that question comes up, or at least every day where it seems like we're mentioning it. So.
All right, but
and nobody does it. Unfortunately, nobody uses condoms with oral sex.
Well, that's not true. I mean, there is a lot of education out there.
A lot of education, but nobody's doing it, and that's where we're having problems here.
Well, yeah. But I also had a question. I'm 21, and I also have a large test, and you had a 12-year-old on, and you were talking about, how you lose it as you get older, and that's not always the case.
No, thank God.
That for the record.
All right, Kate. Well, Susie, ask all the hard questions that I usually ask.
How much do you weigh?
I weigh about 150 pounds, and I'm a 36 double D.
And how tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
Okay.
We had a triple D on the TV the other night, which I completely reject. And I still defy some sort of bra manufacturer to call and tell me how the hell they figure this stuff out. I never heard of a triple D.
You just want a scale named after you.
Yes.
Carolla scale.
Yes, I want the A-hole cup. All right, no, that wouldn't work. C wouldn't work either. All right, we'll work something out. Kate?
Right. Hello.
So, how tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
150. Well, that's
150.
And
nice. I was just wondering about breast reduction. I was wondering how much it costs, actually.
Had Dr. Marcel, Drew's smarmy doctor buddy. It's always great. Can tell the difference between... You look at Dr. Marcel and you go, you're a doctor? Because he's smoking and he has a gold nugget watch on and the Italian horn and the hair slicked back. And you go, you're a doctor? And he goes, oh, I'm a plastic surgeon. You go, oh, yeah, okay, that's right. Now I see. No, he's a good guy. He's a competent guy. And I think he said, I don't know, somewhere between
$3 to
$5 to $5 grand.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
All right. And I also wanted to state that it is like the fashion for women now to have smaller breasts and a very small figures.
Fools. That means more big breasts for me, by the way. Go ahead. I'm laughing all the way to the breast farm.
Really, the time to consider this surgical intervention is really when there are physical problems that you're having from the
Right. Well, I do have some back problems.
Well, more than just vague some back problems.
You got to do some sit-ups. I mean, back problems can also be how you walk and high heels.
I am, Susie. I'm falling in love with you over this whole breast thing.
Yeah,
most women are really into having other. They don't. You know what it is? They'll tell you what the agenda is. Most women don't like the idea of other women walking around with bigger cans than they got, so they're all about, it is true. So they go right for the scalpel. Oh, take them off. Oh, it's such a hindrance. But you're right. Listen, if you have large breasts and you're overweight, and I'm not saying that 150 pounds is grotesque, but maybe it's 10 pounds overweight, maybe it's 15 pounds overweight. I think you have to drop that weight before you consider it, because the breast will oftentimes be the first to go.
You know what you do first is you get on a great sort of workout. Thank you.
Yes.
Do that. You know, Adam's a boxer. I got Adam sitting there. We're going to go at it, this guy and I.
It's so hard to get people to exercise.
Exactly.
It's very frustrating.
You'll never know what your real body sort of size is and what your body wants to be until you actually move it and get it healthy and get it strong.
Right.
Do that.
Yes, you ladies need to unleash the trim, small-chested girl that lives inside all of you, and inside my closet at home. Actually, I moved her to the basement. Dan, you're 24.
No.
I mean, you're 36.
By the way, Ann's got the biggest puss on tonight.
Yeah, Ann's been in a bad mood. What? Are you on your period, Ann?
No.
Well, Ann's been pissed all night.
She's got the puss.
Yeah. What's up with you, Ann?
It's the farting thing. She hasn't gotten over it.
What's up with you, Ann? What's going on? Not you, Dan. I'm talking to producer Ann.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's got an audience in there. She don't want to talk. But what do you mean? What did we do? I didn't do anything.
No, you talked about the farting on the head thing. She just does not like that. Oh. And you haven't thought of something.
Hey, Ann, you're always talking about doing themes and projects.
And you haven't thought of something for Wednesday night.
Oh, for Christ's sake, I'm reading 5 bios here when she's telling me to do that.
That has nothing to do with it.
And by the way,
the farting thing I hate, though.
And just to add,
I know, but do you understand that's ratings?
Depends on how well you fart,
And the women are tuning out.
Who's not tuning in for fart night?
The women.
The women.
Oh, the lesbians are tuning out, but not the real women.
Oh.
Please, you're going to listen for fart night.
Absolutely. I want to see if you're as good as my husband.
Yeah, I think I am, but not. He's a heavyweight. I'd be more like cruiserweight. All right, Dan.
Yes.
So you're 36.
Yes.
What's going on there?
Okay. Well, are you guys familiar with Peyronie's disease?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay. About a year ago,
Curvature of the penis, by the way.
Basically.
I got it about a year ago. I am over it now.
You're over it.
Well, yeah. The calcium buildup has deteriorated. There's no more calcium buildup, so there's no more curvature.
Huh.
The problem is now I'm having trouble sustaining an erection.
But that's part of Peyronie's.
Right. Because it's so painful to sustain an erection.
All right, that's still Peyronie's then.
Right.
Let me ask you, just out of curiosity, do you have any calcification, any soft tissue anywhere else in your body?
No.
Just
is that what Peyronie's is?
Well, it's a scarring, and it can calcify, I suppose. But calcinosis, soft tissue calcinosis, though, is part of other autoimmune syndromes typically, though.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just, you evidently don't have that.
No.
But have you had your Peyronie's evaluated?
Yes.
Was it treated?
Yes.
How was it treated?
Basically large doses of vitamin E.
Vitamin E, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's it?
That's one way of doing it.
So every guy should just take that.
No.
Why not? How about rubbing it on your penis?
It's also thought to work for morphia, which is like the same kind of patch that can occur elsewhere in the body.
Well, I'm going to double down on this vitamin E just to play it safe. Hey, do they have, Adam, do they have condoms for Peyronie sufferers?
Larger size condoms might accommodate because there's a little bit more give, especially if they're tight on the bottom, average size, but a little baggier.
Right.
They might accommodate. We have a few of those that might work.
But you don't have any that you don't have any boomerang type lefty or righty condom.
No.
Yeah, write that down. It's a good novelty gag.
Dan, your question specifically is.
Basically, now that I'm not having the pain anymore, I'm still having trouble sustaining an erection, and I think it's turned into a psychological problem. I don't know if it's because I'm afraid that it'll hurt.
A confidence problem.
No, not really a confidence problem. I think it's either that I'm afraid that it's going to hurt, or that I'm putting too much pressure on myself to perform.
And you're not confident about it.
Well, he's confident he's going to have a flaccid penis.
What does your urologist tell you to do?
I haven't seen him since the last time when it was diagnosed.
You need to get back in there. That needs further treatment. And I wonder if they would use the Muse system as a way of helping him. You know, the Muse?
Yeah. With the injection?
It's a suppository. Get them going again. I don't know if that's an indication.
By the way, the suppository...
Do you masturbate?
You put in your urethra, this suppository, not in your ass urethra. Dan?
Yeah.
Do you masturbate?
Occasionally.
Occasionally.
How
when
often?
You masturbate, yeah. How often and what happens when you masturbate? Does it feel okay and everything working all right?
Oh, yeah, everything's working all right.
Okay.
Usually, about the only time that I masturbate is with my wife.
I don't know if that counts. What do you mean? Where's she?
She's with me.
Doing what?
Doing the same.
Why couldn't you then also engage in some sort of sexual contact?
We do.
I bet you had. All right. No, I don't. Our listeners are a jumbo-sized hamper, which I do not care to sort. I just can't go through every sock and pair of undies in the emotional hamper of our listeners. 2 minutes ago, the guy had painful erections.
Now
he was
he's
flaccid. He had a confidence
why I
problem.
asked the question.
It wouldn't work. Now, 35 seconds later, he has an erection. He masturbates. There's no problem. Why can't you have sex when
he's
you
probably
have
having
a
an
penis?
affair and he felt guilty. A whole different thing. It had nothing to do with
He
it.
masturbates, but only when his wife's around. Please.
Yeah.
That's the most retarded
Who's
logic I've
running the
ever heard.
camera?
All right, Brad?
Yeah.
You're 21. We'll sell your call, and then we'll come back and talk to you after the break.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Well, that was riveting. All right, so when we come back, we'll talk to Brad, whose prom is courtesy. Let's see what Brad's prom is. When he was in the car, he thinks someone is in there. It happens at home, too. Well, I'm guessing when he's out of the car, but in his home. Yeah. All right, so Brad is paranoid. He's 21. We'll get to him. Susie Landolfi, we're going to let you go because we know there's a time zone you have to go through in order to get back to your house.
Malibu, right?
Yes, and there's
it's still there.
you got to scale a rock, and you got to blow a Caltrans guy to get by.
Yeah.
I know how the wiggle works. So, Susie, thank you very much for coming in.
Hey, everybody, play safe. California AIDS Hotline, 1-800-367-AIDS. Easiest disease not to get.
Adam Glickman will stay in so he can humiliate his family more with talks of condoms and the like, and we'll be back.
Hi, this is Bobcat Goldthwait, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Can I go now?
Adam Glickman is here. Susie Landolfi has left the building. And, hey, everybody, look what the cat dragged in. It's Dr. Drew joining us for another fun-filled night of Loveline. Phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LVE-191. Screw you with the fax number. Adam, you want to give out a website thing?
Yeah, shameless plug. Condomania's website where you can buy all these great products and also a host of safer sex information, questions and answers is www.condomania.com.
I'm going to beg ignorance. Do people buy stuff off the internet using credit cards?
We ship out over 50 orders every day.
Will you bill them, or do you?
No, the credit cards right online. Sure. And we have an interactive search engine which will help you find the best condom for you by answering a series of questions. The condom wizard will recommend the best condom from you from over the 100 different choices.
See, now, when we were kids, it was a little different than going up to...
Drew had to go to Chinatown to score his condoms because he came from a area in Pasadena where his dad had a medical practice and people knew who he was. This is sort of the, it's like going in on Green Acres and talking to Mr. Haney or Mr. Drucker about buying some condoms. Drew couldn't do it. They knew who his dad was.
Also, in those days, it was all behind the counter. You had to get the pharmacist's attention and line up with all the
Drew would, he actually had a condom drop. He would go down to Chinatown. A small Chinaman would walk by with a case of Trojans folded in a racing form under his arm, and as Drew passed him, they would switch, they would do the drop. Yeah, Drew had a racing form under his arm, too, but with no condoms in it. Yeah, and Drew did that until he was 33, by the way. Force of habit. Once you go, it's like a certain bakery you go to. Even if you move, you still go back there, right, Drew?
Yeah.
Oh, little did Drew know he would go from buying condoms down in Chinatown to whacking off in a cup at a fertility clinic. Kind of ironic, isn't it?
I'm missing the humor in it, but go ahead.
I find it funny. I just wanted to get that whole juxtaposition. Yeah, sure. Brad?
Yeah.
You're 21.
I just want you to know I listened to your guys' show, and I think you guys got very supportive and practical solutions to your callers. And I think you're pretty cool, Adam, and Dr. Drew should become your disciple, and then he can learn some stuff.
I totally agree. Right now, he's blind to his
Show
his
him
maker.
the light.
I'd like to show him the light.
This guy's an asshole.
Show him the light that comes out of my ass.
What's going on, Brad?
Well, I have these problems with paranoia. Sometimes they're, really weird. Stuff like, I'm worried about space aliens abducting me, or when I'm driving my van, I have a bed in the back, and I'm always looking back every once in a while because I'm afraid someone's going to be back there.
All right, so this is very serious paranoia. Do you ever hear voices?
No. I mean, when I was younger, I heard a few voices, but
what were the voices saying?
When I was really young, I used to hear voices, and they just say stuff it was really weird. It was this something person or something on the ceiling was talking to me, telling me to come up there, take off my clothes, do some crazy stuff.
Okay. Brother in the upper bunks and quit whacking off.
You're
shaking the bunk.
Head injuries or anything like that when you were younger?
No, not really. And then kind of after I was when I was younger, closer to maybe 4 or 5, and after that I never ever heard any voices again.
Have you ever told anybody about these paranoias you're having?
Not really, because it's kind of weird, because it's sometimes everything's cool.
Are you doing drugs at all? Do speed or acid or anything like that?
Well, I mean, I'm prescribed on Dexedrine, and every once in a while I'll take a few of those.
That's speed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's speed.
I'll take a few of those with maybe some whiskey or something.
Okay, you've got to talk to you supposedly have ADD, is that the problem here?
Yeah.
Okay,
And,
what kind of doctor is prescribing this?
It's on campus, and now that I'm on it, I've been on it for quite some time, a couple years, and now I try to, if I do take it, I try not to mix it with alcohol.
Okay, it's exceedingly important you talk to the doctor who's prescribing the medication about the paranoias, because amphetamines can cause paranoias, and there's also a possibility that the ADD diagnosis is maybe inaccurate, or that there's another psychiatric problem there that's coming out at this point in your life, and you need to get these things treated. It's extremely important.
I haven't mentioned this in some months, but here's my decree. If you're on the meds, no boozing, and no smoking, and no snorting, and no shooting. Here's the deal. You're already effed up enough. You're on medication, for Christ's sake. You've gone to a psychiatrist, and he's seen fit to put you on some sort of mood-altering drugs. You don't need the booze and the weed on top of that. You really don't. You're already a little bit effed up to the point where you have to get the meds in you. You know what I mean? Some guy wants to have some booze, he wants to smoke some weed, fine. But the second you're getting prescribed something, that's enough of that. All right, Drew?
Yeah, here.
And this word of caution, antibiotics, as I've learned some weeks ago. Not good with the booze, apparently. Drew warned me, but he should have told me twice. Melissa.
Hi.
Going to the dentist tomorrow, everybody.
Oh, yes.
Why? Because it's been 4.5 days, and I'm on a roll. Going there tomorrow.
By the way, just to cheer you up your week, we're going to be doing 11 shows this week.
No, we're not doing 11.
Yes, we are.
No, we're doing 10.
No. They had another one today.
Oh. 4 Friday?
3, 4, 4.
Oh, I heard they took Saturdays off and put it on Friday so we could go out and do Collapse for Valentine's Day.
3, 4, 4.
All right, you're gonna be horrible. Oh boy, am I gonna hate you, Melissa.
Yeah, hi Adam, hi Dr. Drew.
Hey Melissa.
Nice to finally meet you. Long time listener, first time caller.
Nice to meet you.
Anyway, I've got a couple questions just about body piercing. Let's see here. I wanted to get my tongue pierced a while ago, but I heard a bunch of horror stories.
What did you hear?
Just like that there's like major blood vessels that go through your tongue.
Oh, yes.
And that if you puncture them, that you can have serious damage.
Yes. Well, not just damage. Your tongue will swell up to the size of a softball, and you won't be able to breathe.
I've actually seen that, too. But I was just wondering, like, what are the possibilities of that happening?
I don't know. And I haven't read any studies.
If it's done by someone who's knowledgeable, it's not real great because it doesn't happen that often.
It appears not. It's shocking to me how infrequent it is. Frankly, I've seen some effective tongues, but I've never seen any of the vessels.
Adam, you don't have any piercings, do you?
None that are visible.
Because I was just wondering, like, how do I know what kind of certification that people should have if I go to a piercing?
Guy's got a whole bunch of piercings himself. That's how you know.
Yeah, it's very difficult. There's no agency. There's no certification process. There is a whole apprenticeship most of these organizations have. Again, I don't know how you protect yourself depending on what city you're in.
Why don't you just not do it?
Well, it's...
I would expect most really reputable places would not do somebody under 18 anyway.
Yeah. Well, I've got a couple people that are older than me that would take me.
That's the point, though. They still would not do it if you're under 18.
They have a nipple piercing mentor program, Drew, where they go into the inner city and they get young folks who wouldn't have the opportunity to have a nipple or perhaps their vagina pierced, and then they take them out.
I'm interested in that, too, getting my nipples pierced.
Yeah.
And I was wondering what kind of damage that could do in, the future.
Oh, who cares? People think you're an idiot in about 10 years. That's the damage it'll do.
Well, I'm just interested in it. I mean, I'm not sure if I'd actually go out and do it, but it seems like I could do it if I really wanted to.
Yeah. Why do you want to do it? What does that do for you?
Why? I don't know. I kind of find like body piercing and body art just as a fascinating display of art.
Why? Okay, let's assume it's not art.
Why don't you go get one of those magazines where they have photographs of people that have had it done? And look at that.
Well, yeah, I have, but just to see what's out there.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
It just looks neat.
Okay.
Another question. You know that is there any place in the ear that if you get pierced that it can do major nerve damage? It's like paralyzing part of your body.
No. However, if you pierce the cartilage and it gets infected, the whole ear can dissolve.
All right. Here's my message to the youth and not so young youth of America, and everybody, just everybody. Everybody, stop making statements. Stop it. I don't want the statement. I don't want the guy in the Jeep that's raised up 6 stories with the husky dog hanging his head out the back and the crocus blaring. I don't want the chick with the pierced tongue. I don't want the guy with the goatee and the bandana on the head and the cowboy boots. Everybody, stop making a statement. Just knock it off. Go make it at home. I don't want to see you people anymore. I don't want the guy with the big rope gold chain bracelet. I don't want the
impersonators, and you don't want
just stop it,
mutilators.
Please. You people know who I'm talking. You know I'm talking to you. All you guys, I command you to throw out your cowboy boots and bad leather members-only jackets today. Please. You and forget about you guys that are into the Marilyn Manson crap. This zombie rock BS. You guys will be made fun of just like the guys with the big hair who are into Twisted Sister are being made or paying their dues now. Just everyone stop making a statement. Here's what your statement should be. Get yourself a pair of 501s and a T-shirt, put on a pair of Vans, and shut your cake hole. Thank you. Thank you. TJ, you're 40. Everyone wear comfortable, loose-fitting clothing.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we that's what we wore in the 60s, 70s.
Right.
You know, the flannel shirts, except for the bell bottoms that were.
Right, and the pants with the camel toe in the front and the tube top.
Yeah.
I miss that, when women actually dress like prostitutes. Lip gloss, the camel toe dittos,
the
hip
white
huggers.
lipstick and the blue eyeshadow.
Yeah, the frosted look.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know if it's the same on the East Coast, West Coast, but the East Coast also, you went from that style to the... the construction boots and the army jackets.
Are you kidding? Listen, you want to know what's going on the East Coast, you just turn on Jerry Springer, or actually Richard Bay. You think the tube top, the tight jeans, and the big hair has gone the way of the hula hoop? No. It is alive and well over there in New Jersey. Oh, absolutely. All right, I'm already deeming TJ insane. All right, do you guys get you get that vibe too?
Yeah, a little bit.
Drew, you get that vibe that TJ's nuts?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
I'm not ready.
Okay. TJ?
Anybody who calls your show has got to have some level of insanity.
Some people just have problems, though. That doesn't mean they're insane.
Okay.
What do you want to ask, TJ?
Well, what's going on, TJ?
Well, there's just a lot of stuff going on. I've come to terms with my sexuality. And I have decided that I'm bisexual.
Hold on. One of my new mandates, no coming to terms with your sexuality. Do that after, 60. Don't come to terms with your sexuality. Oh, man, am I tired of seeing people that are wrestling and then coming to terms with their own sexuality right in front of me. All right, TJ, we're going to go to break. We'll come back, and we'll figure out which path you chose when we come back.
Hi, this is Jennifer Gray, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. You're my stern but groovy master, Adam.
Oh, yeah. That's my lass, that Jennifer Gray. I miss her.
Ann is never going to have her back just because we like her so much.
Hey, I hate that Jennifer Gray. Let's see if we get her in tomorrow.
You're my stern but groovy master, Adam.
Adam Glickman is here. Adam runs Condomania. I just spit on the mic. And probably knows more about condoms than any man alive. Would you say that's fair?
I've been doing this for about 12 years. I started by selling them door-to-door in college 10 years ago.
In Boston?
Yeah, in Boston.
I read the bio, Adam.
Yeah, you did.
This Adam.
Shut up,
so I've been doing it a long time. If there's one message I could give to people, it's that experiment with condoms. Try different shapes, flavors, sizes, brands. Most of us don't like using them. It's a necessary evil, and if you adjust your attitude and try different products, you might end up actually really enhancing the experience that you are really starting to dread.
What about the animal skin condoms?
Natural skin condoms they're great. They're very expensive. They are not.
Adam Carolla wants to know how they were discovered as use for condoms.
No,
Who determined that?
I got that figured out. But what are they made out of?
They're made out of cecum, or lamb's intestine.
Yeah.
And they're not recommended for disease prevention. They're great for pregnancy, and they feel great. They feel as natural as you can get.
Why do you think that a lamb and you have your polyurethane or your latex condoms, which are just a millimeter. Not fractions of hundredths of a inch thick or whatever. How can there be such a sensation difference? Why is that?
It's the properties of the material. The lamb skin is softer. It warms to body temperature. It just has more natural properties.
Oh, but they have fake wool and fake fur. Couldn't they simulate that?
They're trying to. Technology is working to simulate what nature has already done. And that's where the direction of condoms has been going, shape, size, materials. How can we embody all these properties, warming to body temperature, fit, comfortability, all that sort of stuff. So
I'm going to ask you a hypothetical question. If I took a case of those lamb intestine condoms, put them in some hot water and cut up a potato, could I have haggis?
It'd be a wonderful stew. You know what?
Haggis. Okay, Drew. TJ.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're 40?
TJ, not BJ.
All right, TJ, what's the question for us?
TJ is in
What's the question?
Didn't I tell you there's a certain degree of insanity here? Yeah, how long are we talking about? 15 seconds? All right.
TJ, what's the question?
Okay, bottom line comes down to this. I've decided I am bisexual at the age of 40.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I don't know where to meet other women.
Let's define our terms. What do you mean bisexual?
I enjoy having sex with both men and women.
And so you want to go out and meet some women now?
But I want to go out and have safe sex. Do you understand? Whether it's with a man and a woman together or with a man and...
Okay. We'll get back there for a second. I want to know where to meet women because I'm bisexual. Okay, so you want to know where to go out and meet some women. No, well, I want to go out and have safe sex. It's like, stop jumping around, TJ. Hang with me for a second. All right?
Yeah, no problem.
You want to go and meet women. And what do you think about just going to like a lesbian bar?
I don't want a relationship with a woman. I just want to have sex.
State your question again, Adam.
I don't want to have...
No, Adam.
What about a lesbian bar? What do you think goes on there?
Obviously, women hitting on other women.
All right.
Yes.
Not relationships.
Yes. Okay.
Boy, TJ. What happened to you? Are you okay?
Am I okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all right. Why?
What's going on? Do you work?
Yes, I do.
Where?
I'm a freelance lighting designer.
You on the dole?
Yeah.
Yeah. You getting assistance from the state?
No.
You're not making any money?
I'm barely scraping by at this point.
Disability.
Disability?
No.
Do you get a check from the government each month?
No.
Really?
No.
But you did for a number of years?
No, I did not.
Oh, really?
For a number of years, I held a very corporate American position.
All right. So here are your two options. Does the LPGA Tour come through town once a year?
The what?
Does the where do you live?
I live in Goleta.
Goleta?
Goleta, California.
Oh, yeah, that's where the college is.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think the LPGA Tour rolls through Santa Barbara.
No, you mean, yeah, okay, no female golfer.
No, okay, go into town. Go into, Isla Vista and find some lesbian hangout.
Yeah, but...
All right, that's enough of you.
There's a drug thing there, I guarantee.
You think so?
Yeah.
I want to meet women. Go to a lesbian bar. Yeah, but I don't want a relationship. I just want sex. Oh, okay. Go to a lesbian library, then. That's where all the real one-night stands are going down. Yeah, by the periodicals. People just like to... there's some component to some people that will just say the opposite or but to whatever it is you tell them.
It's antisocial. I mean, you're outraged when they say it to you because you don't represent the man. If I open my mouth, they say it to me.
Yeah, you represent the man, Drew.
And Goleta drugs.
Oh, really?
With her. I mean, I'm not disparaging Goleta, but that TJ and that whole area.
Wait a minute. Is Goleta? I was thinking of Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Where's TJ? Oh,
TJ's the caller.
Oh, I thought you meant Tijuana when you said that whole area. I know what you're talking about. Carly.
Yes.
You're 19.
Yes.
What's going on?
Okay, well...
Most people that go by initials are nuts. Except for Dr. J. He's great.
I've been with my boyfriend now for about 3 years.
Yeah?
And I'm still a virgin. And he's pressuring me to have sex with him, and I really don't want to. What can I do to tell him? I've told him no. But he keeps asking. What can I do to make him realize that I don't want to?
Don't expect him to stop asking. But what is he doing to pressure you?
Like, he'll get his friends over, and he'll have his friends beg me, and then he'll ask me.
That's excellent.
And I don't know what to do.
You need to find some way to humiliate him.
Hey, Carly, this is Chuck and Stu. We're friends with Bob. Hey, man, come on. Why don't you loosen up a little and, give him some sex?
Good for you, Carly.
I don't listen to them. It's just
I wish
mostly
I'd get my friends to do that.
It's a lot of pressure on me, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like they'll come over, they'll put the pressure on like when he's got to go to work and stuff and take a break.
All right, here's the deal. Stop or this relationship's over. I can't stand this.
No, I'm taking a sleeping pill right now.
What do you think?
What's that?
I thought I was laughing at whoever said that. It was something about a sleeping pill or something.
That's Adam. What are you doing that for?
I got to take a sleeping pill.
Why? You have the morning show tomorrow?
Yeah, I got to get up at 6:30
He's not thinking, it's just to his own defense.
I'm just taking one.
Benadryl. He's taking Benadryl.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that wipe you out for 3 days, though.
That's why I'm only taking one. You know, the guy who works on my house always knows, he knows two things. He knows when I've been to the dentist, and he knows when I've taken the Tylenol PMs. Because I come down and start yelling at him, and he looks at me and goes, "You take Tylenol PM last night?" I go, "Yeah." "What's that?" "How do you know?" He goes, "Uh-huh." And he knows the dentist, too, because it's my two cranky times.
The Playboy interview, they asked me to diagnose you.
Oh, those tards. Screw them with that goddamn... Can you believe that Playboy...
Yeah, my dad's a dentist.
Oh, good. No wonder you're a virgin. He's traumatized you.
Excuse me?
Carl, you're fine.
All right, you're fine. Get rid of this guy. I don't like this guy with his friends.
Right, get rid of him if he continues to pressure this way. He really is not thinking of your best interest or caring about you, and he's humiliating you and using tactics that are just not worthy of a relationship, okay?
Okay.
Right.
Hey, Carly, tell your dad that Adam told him that moccasin making and saddle manufacturing have come further in the last 50 years than dentistry. From a technological standpoint. Moccasin and saddle making. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just take one look at Ann for a second, will you?
Fooling anyone with that, I swear, we got to smoke that glass somehow to look at Ann. Ann came in with a puss on. She had a puss on for 2 hours. She's talking to me about doing things that are, more spirited, more themes. I say we fart on some 18-year-old's head. That's not a theme to her. It's going to be huge ratings.
Kiss my ass, Adam.
And what was that, Jennifer? All right, let's do another call.
That was Fiona.
Oh, Fiona Apple. All right. Drew, all right. Screw you, Drew. You going to pick a call?
I thought you were going to go to another diatribe.
Reno.
Yeah. Hi. I'm 14, and my problem is, I had a lot of problems with depression.
Yeah.
And the past 2 or maybe 3 years, I've been cutting into myself or just anything to inflict pain.
Yeah.
And about a month ago, I cut into my wrist and didn't mean to, and I guess I cut too deep, and I kept bleeding and couldn't get it to stop. So, since it really freaked me out, I had to ask my mom to stop it, but I mean, I really don't want to do it because it freaked me out, but I haven't been able.
Have you been treated, Reno?
I went to the therapist, but I really didn't like it, and
it's not to like. You've got to keep going. You got to go, or this isn't going to stop.
What happened to you, Reno?
You're not going to like whatever treatment you get because it's going to require you to go at whatever feelings that you're expressing in this dysfunctional way.
Oh, I hate to sound so simple or trite, but it's like working out. It's like you can go to the gym and have a good time if you just read a bodybuilding magazine and sip on a banana protein shake, but you walk out and you gain 5 pounds.
Well, I don't really like exercising either. So.
Right, all right, but you got to start pushing yourself a little, Reno. The more uncomfortable you are in the therapist's office, the more you're getting done, unless he's having sex with you.
Well, I talk to my parents, my mom about it and all, and I'm really open with her about a lot of stuff, but I don't really like talking about it, and I try doing other things to instead of just cutting into myself, but I don't know.
Reno?
Yeah.
No matter how much you don't like the treatment, you've got to go. In fact, the more you don't like it, the more you need it.
I was a real effed up kid. I was thinking back on that.
You never cut yourself?
No, but I was a mess, from, 7, 8 to maybe 12 or something. I mean, I was out of control. I was a mess. I was looking back on that. I was just thinking about that. I don't know, something you get saner as you go on.
Well, you have treatment, though.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, you got to pay to get saner. That's right. Drew's right. One day you'll all be successful hosts with lovely producers who look at you like they're watching a bris.
Kiss my ass, Adam.
And we'll be back. Metal, no, Andrew? All right. And hang out here. We got to talk after the show. All right, I want to thank Susie Landolfi for coming down, and especially her big farting husband, David Pritchard, who's asked, I'd like to personally kiss because he works for Film Roma and trying to work out a deal with it. It's about an animated condom called Sparky. Okay, no. Adam Glickman, I want to thank you for coming out here. Condomania, go ahead and give the internet address.
It's www.condomania.com. We also have an 800 number for questions and ordering products, 1-800-9-CONDOM.
And anything else, AIDS hotline or something like that. It's National Condom Week, so everyone buckle up.
1-800-367-AIDS.
All right. So we've done our good turn tonight, have we not, Drew?
I believe.
All right. God bless all. Put on the condom. Thank you, Adam. And until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
Kiss my ass, Adam.
This has been Loveline. The opinions expressed herein are not necessarily those of the staff or management or producers or directors or the advertising or anyone, but they might be Bob's. I'm Bob, and they're mine. The producer of Loveline is Ann Wilkins. Loveline is a presentation of Westwood One Entertainment. We now return you to your highly tested, regularly scheduled programming. Bye.
This concludes another PodcastOne.com program. Stay tuned for the latest AP News headlines from Podcast One, right after this.
Tonight, you must see NBC's newest hit that everybody is talking about, You, Me, and the Apocalypse.
Yes, critics call it the year's most entertaining show and give it 4 out of 4 stars.
The cast is amazing.
Check it out. Rob Lowe, Will and Grace's Megan Mullally, Jenna Fisher from The Office.
You had me at Rob Lowe.
Oh, here we go.
So do yourself a favor and watch the first episode on the NBC app.
Then watch episode 2 of You, Me, and the Apocalypse tonight.
Followed by The Blacklist and Shades of Blue.
Ooh, NBC Thursday is one hot night of television.
With my husband, Rob Lowe.
Okay.
AP Update, I'm Ross Simpson. Another legend in the music industry has left us. Maurice White, the founder of Earth, Wind, and Fire in the late 1960s, has died at his home in Los Angeles. He was 74. Earth, Wind, and Fire sold more than 90 million albums worldwide, displaying a flashy musical style that incorporated Maurice White's influences from growing up in Memphis, Tennessee.
The message has always been the same, that of higher consciousness and trying to bring good vibes into people's lives. That's our whole objective. We've achieved that and we continue to do it.
The band's many hits, including Shining Star in the background, September, Got to Get You Into My Life, and Boogie Wonderland. AP Update, I'm Ross Simpson.